They don't know that the new prisoner with the cross tattoo is the most dangerous inmate ever. The film follows a former drug dealer who is imprisoned and forced to deal with the mafia. When his wife is kidnapped and threatened, he is willing to do anything, including entering the most terrifying prison to save her. Will his efforts save his wife and unborn child? Let's find out in Brawl in Cell Block 99. Next, the film begins with Bradley taking a car to the garage where he works. His boss was waiting for him outside the workshop, wanting to discuss something important. Seeing his boss's unusual body language, Bradley felt uneasy about the conversation. His assumption was correct. He was fired due to the economic crisis. Shortly after, he packed his things and left the workshop. When he arrived home, he found his wife, Lauren, talking on the phone while sitting in the car outside their house. Bradley suspected she was cheating on him with someone else. He immediately walked over and opened the car door. He told her he had just been fired, and while talking to her, he noticed a red lipstick mark on her neck. Overcome with jealousy, he grabbed her phone angrily and checked the last call, discovering that she had called another man. Enraged, he ordered his wife to go inside the house. Then, he expressed his anger by smashing her car, punching the rearview mirror, and ripping off the car cover forcefully. Bradley invited Lauren inside for a conversation and asked how long she'd been in the relationship. She admitted to having an affair for 3 months. Feeling overwhelmed, Lauren explained that Bradley had been too busy with work and had no time for her. After expressing their feelings, Bradley asked Lauren to start a new life together, and she agreed. After being fired from the repair shop, Bradley decided to work for a man named Gil, who was involved in drug trafficking. His wife disagreed with his decision, but Bradley insisted on taking the job, as it was difficult to find work quickly during the economic crisis. 8 months later, Bradley was working as a drug courier, delivering packages to a drug dealer's apartment before returning home. His life began to change. He was living in luxury, moved into a bigger house, and Lauren was pregnant again. While playfully spending time with his wife at home, Bradley received a phone call from Gil asking him to come over. Yes. Upon arriving, Bradley met Gil's new associate, Eleazar. Eleazar was a strong man with black hair and led a large drug cartel in Mexico. He had brought 2 of his men, Romain and Pedro. These 2 men were extremely muscular. Eleazar stated that they would accompany Bradley on the job. However, Bradley refused, as one of them, Romain, appeared intoxicated. Bradley believed Romain would cause problems. Eleazar defended his man, claiming he was well-trained. Eventually, Gil convinced Bradley to take the job, promising him 3 months off when his child was born. Bradley accepted the offer on the condition that he would be in charge. Bradley and Eleazar's men carried out the job immediately. They arrived at the port at night where they were to retrieve a package from the seabed. The 3 men boarded a small yacht and set sail. Upon reaching the ocean, the yacht stopped, and Pedro prepared to dive. After a while, he found a large chest, like a treasure box, chained underwater. He quickly unlocked it, retrieved the drug packages, and swam back to the surface. Bradley and Romain helped lift the package onto the yacht. As they returned to the port, Bradley suspected a police ambush. He ordered Romain and Pedro to throw the drugs overboard, but they refused, leading to a fight. Romain broke up the fight, but by the time they reached the car lot, the police had surrounded them. Seeing the situation from afar, Bradley quickly walked back to the yacht. Unfortunately, he ran into a police officer. Thinking fast, he pretended to be a bystander and assisted the officer. He then shot Romain and Pedro. Pedro died in the shootout, and the police arrested Bradley. At the police station, Bradley was interrogated by a detective who realized he was a smart man capable of deception. Despite this, the court sentenced him to 7 years in prison for premeditated murder and possession of illegal weapons. Upon arriving at prison, Bradley underwent a physical examination. The warden instructed all prisoners to leave their belongings for inspection. An old man named Lefty then escorted him to his cell on the upper floor. That night, when the prison bell rang, all inmates stood outside their cells for roll call, except Bradley, who was still sleeping. The others had to wait until he woke up. When he finally did, the warden scolded him. The warden ordered him to be more disciplined and follow prison rules. Meanwhile, at Bradley's home, Lauren was suddenly attacked by an intruder. She was tied up and taken to an unknown location. The next day, in prison, Bradley was called to meet a staff member named Denise, who told him that his wife's obstetrician wanted to see him. The doctor turned out to be working for Eleazar, who had lost $3.2 million because of Bradley. The doctor showed him a photo of Lauren, tied up and blindfolded, and threatened to force a miscarriage if Bradley didn't comply. Yet, Bradley was ordered to kill an inmate named Christopher Bridge, who was in a different prison, specifically in cell block 99. To get there, Bradley deliberately caused a commotion, attacking guards so he would be transferred to a high-security prison. Once in Redleaf Prison, Bradley was placed in cell 59, a filthy, dark room. Later, he was allowed outside, where he met another inmate named Derek. Bradley asked about Christopher, but Derek claimed he didn't know him. He then provoked a group of prisoners, engaging in a brawl and knocking them all down. The guards fired warning shots, but Bradley attacked them as well. He was finally subdued and taken to cell block 99, an underground, isolated prison. Meanwhile, Lauren appeared weak, and the doctor prepared for a forced abortion. Back in prison, Bradley realized he had been tricked. Eleazar himself was in cell block 99 and had orchestrated everything to have Bradley transferred there for revenge. And after intense torture, Bradley managed to attack Eleazar's men and strangle him. He forced Eleazar to cancel the abortion and release Lauren. Lauren was taken to Gil's house, where Gil killed both the doctor and his assistant. In prison, Bradley received news that his wife was safe. He spoke to his unborn child through the phone, knowing he would never see them again. After ending the call, Bradley returned to Eleazar's cell and killed him by decapitating him. In the end, the warden entered and shot Bradley in the head, killing him. Brawl in Cell Block 99 was written and directed by S.A. Craig Zoller and stars Vince Vaughn and Tom Geary.